Dana Goodwin. How are you today? Thank you for being the first on this Faces of Temple Emanuel.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm doing pretty well today. As I mentioned, I'm very warm right now.
We
But
seem to go from freezing cold to midsummer overnight. I guess that's both of our welcome to Pittsburgh, huh?
I guess so. Yeah, it's been confusing for kids to put jackets away and bring them out multiple times, but it's just the way it is.
Right. So I know you are hiding out in the attic right now, but what neighborhood do you live in?
We live in Dormont. So we live right across the street from Dormont Park, which is a lovely park, a big open green space with a nice Little League baseball field and a really cool playground that of course is closed right now. But we feel very lucky to have a pretty expansive plot of green directly across the street from our house right now.
It's wonderful. And tell me just a little bit about your journey to Pittsburgh. Where did you start out?
Yeah, so I'll give you the whole story, but I'll make it really quick. So I'm from the Pacific Northwest, a city called Bellingham. Yeah, woohoo! Um, I traveled a lot in my early 20s, including a year in Israel and a year in Italy for a grad program. Eventually, I moved to New York City, where I met my husband, Lucas, and we left New York after our first son, Levi, was born. And we spent 1 year in Washington while we kind of collected our new parental selves. And Luke applied to grad school and he got into a great program here in Pittsburgh at Duquesne. And so we moved to Pittsburgh.
We are so excited to have you here and pretty excited that you accepted the nominating committee's phone call to serve on Temple's board, although you did so before the world kind of turned upside down. So you're going to be in a position of leadership at a really definitional, wow, that sounds better on paper than it does when I try to say it out loud, at a really defining time in the life of the synagogue. How do they convince you to say yes?
It wasn't a hard sell for me. I'm in what I'd call kind of a yes period of my life. We've made a lot of very big changes and have been away from kind of our well-established family communities and old friend communities. And so I've been practicing that practice, I guess, of saying yes to more things. And so when I got the call, I was like, hey, this sounds interesting. And the work that I've done just, as a congregation member and then as a parent of an ECDC student has really helped me connect to, just what a great place Temple is. And so I'm really excited to hopefully be able to further contribute to it being a great place, and also, establish new relationships and friendships and learn some things in the process.
Absolutely. And your HR background and strategic thinking is going to be wonderful for the synagogue. You mentioned ECDC. How long have you been engaged in the community?
So we moved here just over 2 years ago. And my son, Levi, the one I mentioned earlier, he started in the twos class. I guess that was about 2 years ago. So we've been involved with Temple for about 2 years now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So when you are not agreeing to give up your free time for the betterment of Temple, how are you spending that free time?
There is no free time. So,
Amen, sister. I get it.
Yeah. So, right. I have children. I have a 4-year-old, as I've mentioned, and also a 2-year-old, and a husband who's in a very demanding grad program. I do work on in a very part-time capacity for myself. I'm a consultant, and so which is really cool because I get to just talk to business owners and leaders about their work and help give them guidance and advice on best practices. And then when I really do have free time, which I do get a little bit of, I love being outdoors. So I'm a true Pacific Northwesterner, and I love hiking and mountain biking. And with two small kids, we find lots of fun adventures around here, visiting state and county parks, going for bike rides. And I'm also a very big home cook. So I cook a lot. I mean, like a lot. And I've, like so many people during this time, I've baked for a long time in my life, but I've been baking a lot more lately.
Sounds like you are someone that I need on my team for this new survivalist mentality. We're getting there, but it made us realize how much we ate out, and we have some work to do in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's kind of, I thought we didn't eat out very much, but the sheer fatigue on our kitchen and the amount we've now directed towards groceries instead of the occasional pizza here and there, it makes me realize that we ate out quite a bit too.
Absolutely. No, and I say this tongue in cheek with the utmost respect for all of the first responders. But I feel like the unsung hero in all of this is the dishwasher, which has been working far harder in the last 3 months than they've ever had to work in American
Mhm.
history.
Yeah. Wow.
I am so grateful for your time today. I'm so grateful for your taking on a leadership position at Temple. And thank you for starting off this new Faces of Temple Emanuel series. Hopefully we get to meet some of your fellow board members, some new members, some old members alike. And I'm delighted to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rabbi.